Hello, friends. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. There we go. Check, check, check. I hope you can hear me okay. Let me just monitor on headphones and make sure I am sounding okay. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. There we go. Check, check, check. So I just gotta maybe get this a little bit closer to me. Check, check, check. There we go. Check, check, check. Hey there, friends. I haven't been doing live streams lately to anywhere really, because I've been having a lot of problems with YouTube censorship. They've deleted. I guess I'll take these off. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I can move my chair. Okay, this over here. Okay, friends. So I'm getting messages that of streaming problems. Let me just check really quick. I get a green light over here. All right, so let me just call up one more thing here, and I'm going to get started. All right, so I'm just going to kind of wing this a little bit. So where is my... stand by 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's an eviction special. I've just received an eviction notice, and I have to raise $1,000 urgently. So let me just show you this really quick. Can I give you this other screen? There we go. So my background is I've done environmental activism for many years. You can go to, if you just search for Bill Huston's fracking resume, you're going to see, you're going to find this web page that's just going to list my skills and what I've done with my life since about 2010. This mainly covers my work since 2010. And I mainly did environmental work. We had a big industrial invasion that threatened New York, and that was fracking was going to come to New York. And so we worked for a lot of years to defeat fracking, and we did. And I've also worked on defeating many different dangerous and dirty fossil fuel expansion projects. No, not because of climate change, but because of industrial pollution. This is a map that I made. This is one of my most popular memes or graphics. This was shared over 50,000 times. This is 6 counties in northeast Pennsylvania, and it shows the environmental impacts of fracking. And the black dots are wells, and the colored areas are the different townships and the number of complaints, water quality complaints, that people have logged with the PADEP. And so, as you can see, where the density of the black dots is greatest, that's where the water contamination is also greatest. So this really shows clear evidence that fracking causes water contamination. And I know I lived, see this little red area right here? That's Dimmock, PA. I lived there for 2 years and did videography work and research and paralegal work to help out victims of the industry there. I lived in Dimmock, yep. And so I know a lot about the oil and gas industry. But anyway, the point is, go to Bill Huston's fracking resume. You can get an idea of the kind of service work that I have done. And I've really devoted my life. There's one award that I actually won. since about 2010, and this was the latest thing. I helped to defeat an incinerator in my village where I live, Endicott, New York, birthplace of IBM, and we did that during the quote-unquote pandemic. We defeated an incinerator, a hazardous waste incinerator that was being sold to us as being something different, a battery recycling facility. That's not what it was. And I really exposed that to the village of Endicott. Nobody knew about it, and I did dozens of videos. Eventually a group formed, No Burn Broom, and we were able to defeat it. Large group of community members came together. But I fought this incinerator, and I was even the one that exposed what it truly was for 6 months before this group existed. So the point is, I've done a lot of environmental work. Now then, I'm doing a documentary right now of, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back to this other screen. Hold on. Okay, so I have a new Substack I'm starting. It's called Apocalyptic Yoga, and I would really encourage people to sign up for that, especially paid donors. So here's the deal. I've done all this work, and I have this amazing story in front of me that nobody else seems to be telling. I'm not going to be able to complete this story, though. And I'm working on this. It's one of the most ambitious video projects I've ever worked on. And it's all about the present situation that I can't really talk about on this platform because I'm going to get censored, and they might even take me down midstream. So I have to be careful about what I say. And I have lost major donors. So like I said, I've worked in the public interest since 2010. 2009, and I'm being censored on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube. I have channel strikes on YouTube, or I have received channel strikes on YouTube. I think that they've aged out by now. I'm banned on Facebook. I've been banned I'm on my 7th ban. 30-day ban right now, so I can't communicate on Facebook except through DMs. I lost my main Twitter account. I'm being heavily censored, okay? They've spotted me as some kind of, I don't know, subversive or something, dangerous medical misinformation. I've devoted my life to the public service since 2017, and I have lived almost exclusively on donations and grants since then. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 5 years. I haven't had a real job. Well, I take that back. I did some work for a nonprofit for around a year, and they paid me a small stipend. It wasn't enough to live on. And I also worked as a paralegal for a while, for a few months. And this is very significant to this video that I'm working on because I've had a lot of problems, a lot of issues, personal problems, and I've had computer stability problems since July of last year when my CPU blew up. I've had 2 separate flooding incidents in this apartment, including over my computer. My computer's been down for months, since about September or so. So I'm really kind of disabled by poverty. So I really need to, and I've chosen to live like this to some degree. I mean, I've chosen not to this level of disabling poverty, but I've chosen to work in the public service and to work on donations because I've been doing public service work for 20 years or longer, really. So this project that I have that I'm working on right now, anyway, I've been evicted. I've just been evicted, okay? So I need to urgently raise $1,000. This is the point. I've received my eviction notice, I should say that, on Thursday. So I have a matter of days where I really have to raise $1,000 most urgently. And I'm working on a project. It's the biggest project. It's in scope. let me just tell you really quick. Let me just tell you the size of the project in megabytes, because it's massive. Give me 1 second. I can't really type and talk at the same time. Stand by. It's dead air. Okay, so I've almost got it. All right, so it's 36 megabytes. It's a huge Premiere project, and I've been logging lots and lots of files. And so this documentary is actually about someone very incredible named Christine Massey, and she's from Ontario, Canada. And in my opinion, Christine Massey holds the secret. It's not a secret, but she holds the answer, okay? And she's really being ignored by a lot of the big names that you would expect to hear, to be promoting her, to be talking about her work. Her work is extremely important. There's two different aspects of her work that's extremely important. And so people know Christine about this, okay? This is her website, Fluoride Free Peel. By the way, here's a little side note that's kind of interesting. Anybody from Endicott that was involved in the Incinerator fight, we got a one-click away connection to Christine already, because she fought fluoride, she has a connection with Dr. Paul Connett. So anybody from Endicott certainly knows who Dr. Paul Connett is, because he helped us with the Incinerator fight. So she had this site, Fluoride Free Peel, and then she started this project, okay, where she started doing, in New York we call them FOIL, Freedom of Information Law, or FOIA at the national level. They're called FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, kind of the same thing. In different states, they're known as different things: right to know, sunshine law, open records requests, different names. But it's all, sunshine law. It's all basically the same kind of stuff that most countries around the world recognize that their governments need to operate in an open and transparent way. So there's FOIA laws around the world. And so what Christine started doing, and a few other people around the world, they started doing FOIA requests to the governments, the same governments that ordered these lockdowns for the last 2 years. They started FOIAing the government for factual information regarding the basis of the lockdowns. And specifically what Christine has narrowed in on is this alleged, I'm not even going to say it, I'll point to it right here. I can't really point to this because that's a slide, but you can see that word like right in the middle, have no record of that thing. So they're looking for records of it. Certainly they must have records of this this pathogen being isolated and purified and sequenced and all that stuff. So she's been doing FOIA requests to governments and universities, and can't find any evidence that this thing that was the basis for all these lockdowns exists. Okay, so this is the work that she's most well known for, and she's known worldwide for this work, and it's phenomenal and it's incredible. So my documentary is going to be talking about this work, but also it's going to connect with the larger story of the, the invisible death plague. And this slide right here, this is actually an animation you're going to see in the video, that basically, here we got this guy, Rebel News. They're based in Ontario, and they're not covering Christine. They're covering the arrest of Arthur what's his name? Arthur. He's got a Polish last name. Pastor Artur. That's what people, Pawlowski, something like that. And they're covering his arrest, Rebel News, and they do this alternate kind of news about this topic area. Silence on Christine Massey. Same with Del Bigtree. He covers this this is his area of the high wire. Hasn't mentioned Christine Massey. And I don't think it's anything personal. I think it's, and I'm going to show you in a slide coming up here in a second, that basically any person that talks about this particular topic area is basically banned from the high wire. There's one person that they interviewed once, Andrew Kaufman, and they didn't have him back on, and they're interviewing a lot of people that to this day that indicate that Del Bigtree didn't understand or didn't pay attention to the information that Andrew Kaufman had to present. And the same thing with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He runs a nonprofit called Children's Health Defense. And they run a news outlet called The Defender. And once again, this entire subject area, including Christine Massey. Christine Massey is a news item because she's been arrested on bogus criminal charges in Peterborough, Ontario. She has bogus criminal charges put on her right now because of her work. And because of another aspect of her work, besides the FOIA work, she's working on what I would call local remedy using common law techniques. These work everywhere to gain access to the courts. Because what we have here is we have a crime scene that's global. There's so much to say about this and that's why I'm making this documentary, because it's challenging to tell this story. I have 2 segments completed. They're both about 7 minutes long each, and preliminary reviews, people that have looked at it that have responded have really loved this work. And it's kind of similar in style. Did you ever see the one? Did you ever see this one that I did? Come on, ads. I hate that YouTube puts ads on my videos that I've never monetized. I've never monetized any of my channels. Okay, so I'm just going to flip over really quick and show you this if I can. So I had this video. It's called "Who Put the Stink in My Drink?" And a journalist recently, Peter Mantius, just wrote to me. He's a well-known, nationally syndicated journalist based in the Finger Lakes. It just wrote to me and reminded me about this and was asking me about one of the landfills that's mentioned in this video. But I don't know, this got 4,000, what is it, 4,500 views, something like that. It's not bad for one of my videos, 4,000 views. I know lots of people get lots more views, but for a local issue like this got a lot of views. And it was really creative. A creative edit. I put a lot of effort into it. And so if you're familiar with this and the style of this, I'm doing the same kind of a style with this present issue, okay? And this documentary that I'm doing about Christine Massey. But I need working funds to complete this thing. In a few days, the sheriff is coming and is going to remove me from these premises, and I'm going to change my address to Route 26 under the bridge, Endicott, New York. And I'm not going to be able to get mail there. And I've lost my P.O. box. I'm really disabled by poverty. I've given up my car, my post office box, my cell phone, and not all of these things were really willingly. I've just not had the money to keep this stuff up. Day-to-day survival has been a real challenge for me. So for last couple of years, really. So anyway, long story, COVID relief, New York emergency assistance. I've been through all that program. I did get some money out of that for COVID relief. I've lost major donors because of COVID. That nonprofit that I told you I was working for, I lost that job because of my views on the invisible death plague virus, just because I was asking questions about it. I didn't accept the establishment narrative. So apparently I have a unique lane here because my views are rather controversial because anyway, this graphic here shows that, you know, that these people are basically throwing Christine Massey under the bus. And I'm going to get back to my contributions here in a second. But Christine is among this group of people that I would say are working at root causes, and there's a lot of people here like David Icke that you might, you know, David Icke has really been a visionary for a long time, and he did predict a lot of the major aspects of COVID. We've got journalists like Eric Francis Coppolino and Celia Farber, and you know, we've got people. I mean, I would say, you know, journalists like John Rappaport up there. But I would say the real core people that I would say are core on this issue, I would say are Andrew Kaufman, Stefan Lanka, Samantha Bailey, Christine Massey, Dr. Tom Cowan, Amanda Dawn Vollmer. I mean, they're all doctors except for Christine Massey, I think. They're all PhDs or doctors. Amanda Dawn Vollmer is a doctor in naturopathy. Everybody else, like all of these people that I know, these people are your favorites. You know, a lot of people love a lot of these people, but I'm not sure why exactly. We got Joe Mercola, Geert Vandenbosch, David Martin, Steve Kirsch, Roger Hodkinson, Simone Gold, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I just got to put you on the list, Bobby. I'm sorry. We got Robert Malone, Peter McCullough. Is it Alex Berenson, Judy Mikovits? We have Chris Early Treatment Martinson. That's what his Twitter handle is. Early Treatment. He's got early treatment in quotes. Del Bigtree, Pam Popper. Pam Popper is a pusher of the magical invisible death plague pathogen. Zev Zelenko. I mean, I like a lot of these people. You know, they seem like, you know, honest people. Pierre Corey, Martin Kulldorff, Sunetra Gupta, and Jay Bhattacharya. That's those three at the bottom. In the middle, those are the great authors of the Great Barrington Declaration. I don't think people have actually read that document, the Great Barrington Declaration. I don't know if people know what's in it or not, because those people are pro-vaccine. And then we have Richard Fleming. They're all in this camp. I'm not going to say the name of this camp, but it's like the blankety-blank pushers against the countermeasures, or the blankety-blank pushers against the clot shots. And what is that? Is that a moral argument? Is that a a scientific principle? I mean, what is that a statement of? It doesn't make much sense to fight the mandates, to fight the lockdowns, to fight the vaccine passports, to fight the masks, fight all these different things, but the root cause you give a free pass to. And so the strange thing is, I'm going to come back to that. The strange thing is that the mainstream media doesn't ever talk about this subject. Our own government doesn't give voice to this particular point of view. Social media will ban you Google, YouTube, they will deplatform you. Facebook will deplatform you. Twitter will deplatform you. Basically, Christine Massey's story is forbidden from discussing. Her whole focus is a subject area that cannot be discussed on social media. It is not, in fact, discussed by our governments, by the mainstream media, but thank God for the alternate media, right? Thank God for Del Bigtree and for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Nope. They've got the exact same bias. What? Yeah. What? That's what I say. What? Oh, but we've got the Corona Investigative Committee, Corona Ausschuss, the German Corona Committee with Rainer Fuellmich and with Viviana Fischer and Dr. Wolfgang Vodarg and others. Nope. Same bias. They don't question the root cause. Look at the root cause. Do you see the root cause over there on the right? The monster throwing the fireballs? He's okay. He's with me. He's not so bad. He's, they make excuses. But basically, they don't question this guy. So I put it in the same category as, warmongers against landmines. It's like, what is that? That's a logical argument, a statement of a moral principle. Warmongers against landmines, or it's like capitalists against class, or egg lovers against battery cages, something like that, or cheese lovers against veal. So the point is, we have to address the root causes, and very few people are doing that. But these are the people that are working on the root causes. So if you haven't heard of these people, that's a big problem. So I'm focusing on Christine Massey because her contribution here is so incredibly unique in two different areas, because she found the physical evidence of the fraud at the root cause. I'm not talking about clot shots or bad kind of evidence. That should be... I'm happy about the people that are doing VAERS analysis, and I'm happy about people that are working on looking at these Pfizer documents that are being released, everything like that. But it's not root cause analysis. This is root cause. These people are working on root cause analysis. If we really want to, stop the problem that was thrust upon us in the early part of 2020, globally, then these are the people I strongly feel we really need to be listening to. So the last thing I wanted to say here, I've got this slide here, and we're going to be talking about what these numbers, these numbers are bad enough as it is. Okay, 25,600 deaths. Wait a minute. How many people died during 9/11? Like 3,000? So this is what? Like 9/11s? And most of my friends are like, like the Three Stooges sleeping. So, and don't be fooled by, there's so much confusion out there. This is what I'm saying is this. I have a documentary in front of me. I have data in front of me. I feel like I have the story has been laid out for me to tell. Nobody else is telling the story right. So, if you're talking about any of these subjects, believe it or not, every one of these subjects has a gotcha. The origins or natural immunity. You wouldn't think a discussion of natural immunity. What could be wrong with that? That sounds like a good idea, natural immunity. There's a hidden gotcha there. If you're talking about blankety blank cases, you're confused about the basic facts. If you're talking about this thing, you're confused. That doesn't exist. Number 4 up there doesn't exist. Number 5, let doctors be doctors. This is one of the greatest ones, okay? So even the people in the so-called resistance hate what I have to say about insecticide. A lot of these people, these doctors, wait a second, where are they? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go backwards. These right here. We got Simone Gold. We got most of these people here. Peter McCullough, Steve Kirsch, Hodgkinson, Mercola. They are all pushing literal Chris early treatment. Martinson, if you're hearing about early treatment, it's the same thing. It's a got you to get you to the accept the core premises of the PSYOP. So we have to be really careful about the people that we follow and the language that we use. Let doctors be doctors with insecticide. That's what they're saying. Let doctors be doctors. You have to pay attention carefully to what these people are saying. The testing option. Antibody dependent enhancement. All of these have gotchas. So I'm not going to read this chart, but I want you to screen grab this and really study this. Pause the video and study this, the information that's on this chart here, because this is extremely important. You can start at the conclusion, but every single one of these is a showstopper, friends. Every one of these is a showstopper. So all of this is materials that's from this documentary that I'm getting ready for. I'm preparing. I have 2 segments done. They're both about 7 minutes long each. I have 30 or 40 minutes kind of roughed out in Premiere. I have a third segment I was hoping to have it released today, but I'm having to do fundraising, unfortunately, because I'm going to get evicted. So if you want to help with my eviction, I have a special kind of an offer for you. This, by the way, real quick. If you plug in the name of these blankety blank pushers into either the Highwire into the search engine or Children's Health Defense into the search engine, you'll see that the blankety blank pushers score really high. Okay. But if we look at the people in the no blankety blank camp, 0.0000001, onesies and twosies maybe. So there is clear evidence of bias on Children's Health Defense and the Highwire. They are avoiding a certain subject matter. So one question is why? But regardless of why, we have to change this dynamic because Christine Massey is news. So there's a lot of objectives to me getting this video done. One is basically to celebrate and promote and educate people about Christine Massey's extremely important work and to basically encourage people to replicate her work. Don't just celebrate her as being a hero. We all have to do what Christine Massey is doing. The local remedy, the achieving local remedy that she's doing. It's phenomenal. Extremely important. In addition to her FOIA work, I'm just going to put that there. That's really not related to Christine, but it's related to the overall story of the production, as John Titus calls it. So here's the deal. If you want to, let me put Christine up. I feel real badly about fundraising around a documentary about somebody else's work. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Christine Massey is also, she's like me. She's like a nonprofit person. What? There's a word for that. Eleemosynary. She's an eleemosynary, and I am too. So it just means like somebody does public service work, and so she needs funding. Christine Massey needs funding. So here's the offer. The offer is because remember the goal is I have to raise $1,000 in a matter of days. Okay. So I'm going to solicit donations to my PayPal coming up, but I want you to also consider donating to Christine. And I'm just going to hope that the money goes to where it needs to go. Okay. I'm going to have faith. And if the money doesn't come to me, I'm just going to accept whatever happens. I'm going to be a good yogi, and I'm going to relax, and I'm just going to accept whatever happens to me. If I'm homeless and I have to give up everything and I have to go live under a bridge, well, maybe it's my time, you know? In the Vedic tradition, it's Sanatana Dharma. Hinduism is another name for it. At this stage of your life, you're called Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha. It means forest dweller. It means retirement. Your kids are grown. You become literally the word Vanaprastha means forest dweller. And traditionally it starts, around age 50, something like that. Your kids are grown, you leave, you're kind of entering retirement. So I just turned 61, and I'm not in the forest yet. I'm not dwelling in the forest, so maybe it's my time to just give up everything. And I've given up most all of my possessions already, so I have so little left that, whatever. I've relied upon my donors, my friends and my donors, for the last 5 years. Longer than that, to support my work. But I was able to self-fund my work prior to 2017 because I had a high-paying job. I could get another high-paying job, but I'm eligible for Social Security at the end of this year. So if I can make it just until December somehow with support from the community, that's you guys and gals, that would really help me out and would allow me to produce this extremely important documentary. So here's the offer that I want to give you, okay? $100, $200, $250. For $100, you get access to the first clip, 7 minutes long, extremely powerful. For $200, you get the first 2 clips. If you can come up with $250, I'm going to give you access to every clip as it's produced. And you're going to be able to give feedback to me as I'm producing these clips to tell me, if different, you're going to be like my focus group. You're going to help me craft this thing to make sure that it's a very powerful and effective message. So I'm looking for help in co-producers or, I'm not sure what to call it exactly. Associate producers, something like that. Where you're actually going to be an active participant. You're actually going to be helping me by funding my basic living expenses. Really, I should be raising $5,000. That's really my goal, because $2,000 is just emergency level survival mode, okay? I really need about $5,000 urgently. That's to pay $2,000 in back rent that I have a slight reprieve on, but I have to start making payments on that. And I also need a budget to do the work that I do, okay? So really, $1,000 just gets me not being evicted in a few days. I really need $5,000 to fund this work, and that's a small amount of money, and I have very low living expenses. Okay, so that's kind of the pitch. So now here's the deal. You can give it to me 100 at the 100 level, 200 level, or 250 level. You can give it to me, or you can give it to Christine, or you can do a split if you want to. Give her 2/3 and give me 1/3. And I'm just praying that enough people are going to contribute. So that's the deal. You can give it to me or to her. Let me show you how to contribute to Christine. So to give to Christine, here's what you do. You go to Fluoride Free Peel. It's fluoridefreepeel.ca. I don't know if you can see that so clearly. Fluoridefreepeel.ca. Or if you just go to your favorite search engine, DuckDuckGo or MSN or whatever, there's Yahoo, and just search for Fluoride Free Peel, and you're going to find this site. So at the bottom of this page, this is the instructions. So if you live in Canada, you can donate simply by using an email address if you have a bank that supports that kind of thing. I don't know how that works. I don't think that's available in the US. The other thing she has is somewhere it says PayPal. There it is. So she has a PayPal. That's probably what's going to work for most people. So you can plug in either one of those. Just go to PayPal and type. Let's just do it right now. Go to PayPal. And you want to, I guess you have to log in first. So I'm just going to log in. Oh, man. Okay, so you do send, and you just type in the email address right here. That's how you do it. So you type in my email address right there. So that's how you send using PayPal. You just go to PayPal, log in, click send, and then type in an email address. So you can do that for Christine. Or if you want to donate to me, that would be greatly appreciated. You can do the same thing. Or let me show you. Let me come back to. I have a couple of graphics I just want to show you. If I can go back to the screen. So you can go to paypal.me/Bill Huston. Please note the spelling of my last name, Huston. paypal.me/Bill Huston, and just type in the amount that you want to donate. Sorry about that camera glitching. I'm not sure why that does that. Or the other thing you can do is you can go to tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Huston. And that's going to take you basically to the same page you would get to if you logged into PayPal and clicked donate and typed in my email address, williamahuston@gmail.com. So there's the note that just says, or you can go to paypal.com, select send money, and use this email address, williamahuston@gmail.com. So it's case insensitive. Just make sure you spell it right. A lot of people don't put the A there. That's bad. And and if you get the right address, it's going to say, see right down in the middle there, it says Bill Huston's Public Interest Video Work, Energy, Environment. So make sure you see that before if you see something else there, that's not me. You've typed in the wrong email address. But if you just click on tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Huston, and that's a link in the description, that's a way to send money. And I will receive it immediately. So that's it, friends. So please subscribe to my new Substack, Apocalyptic Yoga. You can just search for that and find it. And so I really need to raise $1,000 urgently, and really $5,000 ideally. That's just for basic survival. That's my Eviction Special. So you can get on the ground floor of this new documentary, and let me tell you something, it's going to raise some eyebrows. And I'm getting peer review too. I'm actually inviting some top people. I don't want to say who exactly, but I'm inviting top people to look this thing over And I'll probably credit them eventually, or the ones that want to be credited, the reviewers. All right, so that's it. Bill Huston Podcast. Please subscribe to me on BitChute and Odyssey. Look for the Bill Huston Podcast on BitChute and Odyssey, because I have to really abandon YouTube. It's unfortunate because it's the best platform in a lot of ways. The best player, the best alert system to get people engaged. But the censorship is too great on YouTube. I can't really produce there anymore. So I'm going to start live streaming to Odyssey, but I'm going to be uploading to Odyssey and BitChute instead of YouTube. So look for my material there. My main Twitter account's been deleted or suspended, and so you can find me at Podcast Bill on Twitter. I'm banned on Facebook. If you want to reach out to me by email, use any one of those email addresses up there, williamahuston@gmail.com or changetheframe@protonmail.com. That's about it. Let me check the chat really quick. I don't know if we have anybody. I've seen a couple of different watchers popping in and popping out. Looks like say hi and give. All right. Oh, here we go. Norma Jean Garza. Hello, Norma Jean. Nice to see you. So it looks like we've had a few viewers popping in and out during the stream. So, okay, that's about it. Unless there's any questions, I'm going to sign off. And please consider supporting me if you can. And you're going to get in on the ground floor of this new documentary about Christine Massey, and it is something else. It's blowing me away, and I'm working on it myself. I can't believe how good this is turning out. And it's like I said, I have a very unique lane. I have information that nobody else has access to, apparently. I know for a fact some of the information that I have is stuff that's nobody has access to. So if you give a donation, you're going to get immediate access to the first 2 episodes. The first one at the $100 level. At the $200 level or the $250 level, you're going to get both episodes, both segments they're draft. They're a work in progress. Okay, so you're going to get a taste for how this thing is shaping up as it's going. There's still some voiceover work that needs to be filled into both of these segments. So you're going to get immediate access at either for the first one at the $100 level or the $200 or the $250. For the $200 level, you're going to get both segment 1, segment 2, and at the $250 level, you're going to get access to all of the segments. There's probably going to be about I'm guessing 6 or 7. Let me just do a real quick, where is a calculator? If I think it's about 45 minutes total divided by, let's say 7-minute segments. Yeah, it's going to be about 6 or 7 segments total. So that's it. Please become a contributor. Please join my Substack. Subscribe to my Substack. And also, if you want to donate, contribute, by becoming a subscriber to my Substack, like a paid subscriber, that would be awesome as well. I don't have any paid subscribers yet, so I don't know how that works. Really, the best way to get me money right now that I know is going to be reliable and will get here on time is by PayPal. Links are in the description below. Okay, that's Bill Huston Podcast. Thanks for joining me for this. Bill Huston Fracking Resume. If you want to look and see the kind of work public service work that I have done, I have a very successful record at environmental causes, but I've been really focusing mainly on the big, scary, invisible death plague virus for the last 2 years, and I have a story that is going to blow your mind. Okay, friends, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you later. It says subscribe to me on YouTube. I need to change that. You need to subscribe, or I would ask that you subscribe on Odyssey and BitChute. as well as YouTube. This is fine to subscribe here, but very little content. I'm going to be posting a couple of things here and there, but I can't post here anymore because of censorship. So most of my live streams are going to be going to Odyssey, and but eventually it's going to end up on Odyssey and BitChute, most of my material. Follow me on Twitter, Podcast Bill on Twitter. Okay, signing off. Thanks a lot, friends. Talk to you soon. Be sure to hit the like button, friends. Thumbs up this video and share it out, please. And don't forget to subscribe to the Bill Huston podcast on YouTube. Click on the bell and select all notifications. And please donate if you can to support my work. Donations in any amount are greatly appreciated.